Hi, it's Summer. Welcome to a new video. I am hoping to do this video all in one day. It's going to be a Monday reset. I love watching Sunday resets on TikTok, but Sundays aren't the best day for me to do house stuff, so Mondays are usually when I try to do things. So this video is going to help keep me accountable. But while I'm doing all of this, I'm going to be reading a book that's coming out tomorrow, I think, when I'm filming this. It's The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This cover is so pretty. I am so obsessed with it. I got an ARC of this book from NetGalley, and as you can tell, I've put it off literally till the day before it's going to be released. And the only reason I'm going to be able to read it in a day is because I have the audiobook from Libro FM. So I'm so grateful to have this so I can listen to it today while I'm doing a bunch of work, housework and actual client work. The client work I need to finish before I do housework, so that'll be the first thing that I do. Anyway though, I've already started the book. I'm on chapter 7 of 52. I have about 6 hours left and I'm listening to it on 2x speed, so it's totally doable to listen to in a day. And already I'm loving it. I'm pretty sure this is this author's debut book, and their writing style is beautiful. The way that they write conversations between people feels like they're real people and not just book characters. The main character is clever and witty and knows what she wants. And the writing is just beautiful and flowery and poetic. And I'm just so obsessed because it's already just everything that I've wanted from this book and this cover. The main character of the story is Marigold, and she's living in Regency/Victorian era London, I think. I actually don't know if it's in London, but I think it's set in 1831 is what it said. In society's eyes, she's an old maid at 21. And her mom is really trying to get her to marry someone, and she just really doesn't want to. She had a romance with someone years ago and they broke her heart, and ever since then she's just kind of not really impressed with men is the impression that I'm getting, and she just doesn't want to be tied down. So she's perfectly content with her life, but society is trying to tell her otherwise. She's talked a little bit about her grandmother who lives on an island that they would go and visit when she was a child. She loved this island and felt really connected to it, and she just really enjoyed her time there, but something happened there when she was a child, an event that made it so that her mom never took them back. There's already been lots of honey mentioned, and there's already a lot of witchy things that are happening, or maybe not happening, but they're being talked about. The main character is just saying how she's so connected to nature and has been since she was a child. She knows how to use herbs and things to help heal people, and also since she was a child she's been sneaking out into the forest during the full moon, and there's a spirit there that she has kind of had this connection with throughout the years. So the scene that I just read was her escaping a ball that her family made her go to. She sneaks away early to go and be in the forest during the full moon. So she's out in this meadow in the forest under the full moon, and it says, "Marigold has grown up surrounded by the poets who propel the narrative. How romantic to die young, unstretched, unsullied, without ever outgrowing the part of the ingenue. But what happens when the girl keeps living, when she ages proudly and defiantly without abandoning imagination or stories or that secret wish to find magic wherever it hides? Well then, the poets would call her a witch." I loved that, and it also kind of gives you a little example of the writing style. I feel the main character is very self-aware, and she's just owning who she is, and she just wants to live her life. I haven't made it to this part of the story yet, but the synopsis says that her grandmother invites her to go live with her on the island that she visited as a child and learn how to become the Honey Witch. But there's a curse that comes with being the Honey Witch, and it's that no one will ever fall in love with you. I was also looking at the genre tags last night, and it has LGBTQ themes in it, and it's a sapphic romance. I didn't know that before going into this one, and it has made me even more excited to read it. I'm already having 5-star feelings, which is crazy because I'm not even very far into the book at all. I'm 7% of the way through, but oh my gosh, I'm just loving it so much so far. I'm gonna keep reading it while I do some client work on my iPad. My main thing is that I draw these girls with flowers for eyes, and there's a lot of people in the polymer clay earring community that have me draw their earrings on one of my girls. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. It's a commission for this really awesome client that I've worked with before. Their username is a Golden Crafternoon. They also are very into books and things, so I'll put all of their social media in the description so you can go check them out if you want to. They gave me a couple of different earring options to draw, so I'm really excited to get started on it. I'm going to start a load of laundry really quick, and then I'm going to start drawing.
Side by side we sway there in all the colors. Summer love, lonesome dove, folded on the lawn chair in all the colors. Summer love, remember when we were getting nowhere fast, when the garden won't stop giving back honeysuckle, fresh cut grass. I could really use some stuff like that.
I just finished the portrait commission. This is how it turned out. I'm just gonna wait a little bit to get feedback from them on what changes I can make. I think it turned out really cute, so I'm hoping that they also really like it. And I also listened to quite a bit more of my book. I'm on chapter 13 of 52, but I'm still just loving it. The audiobook narrator is so great for this book. They do lots of different like accents and stuff, and just the way that they read it is just perfect for the story. Marigold is now on the island with her grandmother. She's already kind of assisted in helping people on the island with medical needs. It's so cool to read about her grandmother, like showing her the ropes of how to keep the island safe, how to tend to it. Also, the way that magic works in this book is that since they're honey witches, they work with bees and with honey, and they like enchant the honey to be used for different things, which is a really cool concept. I don't think I've ever heard of magic working in that way before in a book or even in a movie or anything. There's a lot with like different flowers and plants and what they can do. There's a lot of like working with different animals and like different spirits around the island. The spirits in this book are like animals. They look like animals, but they're not. There is kind of like a big bad person that has been talked about in the story that is going after honey witches and their family line. So I'm definitely interested to kind of see where that goes. I also think that we've met the love interest, and she seems very fiery and sassy, and I am really excited to have her introduced into the story more. I love the grandma. She's just very nurturing, but also sassy and very headstrong. And it's really sweet to see her and Marigold's relationship and how much they still love each other, even though they haven't been in each other's lives for a really long time. The love never stopped, and like their relationship just picked right back up from where it left off. I just really, really think this might be 5 stars, and I'm so excited to keep reading. We're back at my desk. I've made a lot of progress with doing things around the house. I cleaned the bathroom. I put away a load of laundry and started another load of laundry. I picked up some garbage around the house. I made the bed, kind of like put things back in the rooms they're supposed to be in. As a reward, I ordered Jimmy John's because I did not feel like making food, and also I already have enough dishes to worry about. I don't want to make more for myself. I also have listened to quite a bit more of my book. I'm on chapter 20 of 52, so that's 37% of the way through. I only have about 4 hours left. I don't really want to say too much more about the plot since I am farther into the book, but the love interest is now officially kind of more in the story. Her name is Lottie. They are definitely like kind of enemies, and Lottie does not believe in magic. So Marigold has made a deal with her that revolves around her convincing Lottie that magic is real. I'm so excited to see their relationship progress. I'm still having 5-star feelings. I'm just having such a great time listening to this. I feel like I'm already sad that it's going to end, and it just makes me want to like start the book over again to avoid having the book end. It's been a minute since I felt like this about a book, so it's such a nice feeling. And I'm so glad that I'm loving this one so much and that I'll be able to like recommend it to everyone. I mean, probably. I'm not even to the 50% mark yet, so maybe I'll eat my words and I'll end up not liking it or something towards the end, but like I kind of can't really see that happening. Even if it's not a 5, if it's a 4, I'm definitely gonna go out and buy it tomorrow. I don't want to get ahead of myself though. I don't want to jinx it because I'm having such a good time. The next item on my Monday reset list is to clean the litter box, and then I'm gonna take garbage out and then do dishes. Hopefully all before my sandwich gets here. Inside and I'm watching reading sprints on Jesse's channel. I was planning on doing an update at the 75% mark, but I'm doing it at 64 instead. I wish that I was filming the last couple of pages that I read, because I literally was like, one of the content warnings at the beginning was sex, so I was expecting like a little bit, but I wasn't sure like to what extent and like how spicy it would be. And the situation that just happened wasn't even anyone having sex or doing anything sexual, but some of the things that were said, I'm blushing a little bit. I'm still having 5-star feelings. I'm loving where the book is going. There's a little bit of some forced proximity that's happening. There's also an aspect of this book that I wasn't expecting at all. I don't really know if it's like a spoiler or not, but I don't want to say anything just in case. I've never seen this thing done in this time period, and I love it because it's something that I already love in books. I'm also just loving getting to know Lottie more, her backstory, what she's been through. I really should have made this a spoilery vlog because I just want to talk all about this book. Ugh, I love it so much. I also love that this seems to be kind of an alternate history. Being queer is okay and normal. There have been a couple of queer relationships that we've seen. The characters have talked about their sexualities. Marigold is bi, her friend August is pansexual, and Lottie is a lesbian. I also just love these 3 characters together so much. There's Marigold, August, and Lottie. I don't think I've said how they like are connected and stuff. August is Marigold's friend from childhood on the island, so they reconnected when she came back to the island, and Lottie is August's best friend. So they've all been spending time together, and I have just loved seeing their friendship and the found family vibes between Lottie and August. Anyway, I just love their dynamic. I love how close all of them are. Anyway, there's my little almost 3/4 of the way update. I'm gonna get back to reading. I don't know if I'll do another update. I might just come back and give you my final thoughts. I just finished The Honey Witch, and it was so good. It's definitely 5 stars. The vibes were there, the plot was there, the characters were there. It was just everything that I wanted. The tone of the last little bit of the book felt pretty different from the rest of the story, but it needed to be that way. Also, the tone of the more like sexy scenes felt a little bit off for this type of story. I think the more intimate scenes should have been a little bit more like toned down and a little bit more left to the imagination to fit with this kind of whimsical, cozy fantasy story. It felt a little bit too like Kindle Unlimited romancy, but honestly that's the only negative thing that I could say, and even that isn't anywhere near negative enough for me to like lower my star rating. I just loved this so much. I feel like I'm just gonna keep repeating myself saying that. This feels like a soul book in a way. I can't believe this is the author's debut book. Like, it was so good, and I feel like so much happened in it. I feel like when an author is able to write about a long period of time to where it doesn't feel like it's too long, but it also doesn't feel like it's just short and skimmed over. I feel like that's the sign of a really good author and a good writer, and that's definitely how it felt in this book. This book covers like a year or more of time, and it felt like I was doing the journey right alongside Marigold, but it didn't drag on for too long. It was just like the perfect balance. It was so heartwarming and hopeful. It was cozy, but there were also really high stakes. It was just amazing, and I just want to like start it over again, honestly. I loved my time reading this book. I also think that even if I didn't have like this video keeping me accountable, and if I wasn't worried about reading it on time because it's an arc, I think I still would have read it in a day just because of my enjoyment. It was so good, and I think I'm just gonna be thinking about it constantly forever. I'm absolutely buying a copy tomorrow when it comes out. The way that I need fan art of this book right now, but there probably isn't any because it's so new. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself for the rest of the night. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to distract myself from the fact that this book is over, and I'll try to get some footage of me going to buy my copy in person tomorrow. Got back from Barnes & Noble, and look what I got. This is such a pretty book. I cannot get over it. And look how cute the spine is too. I'm so happy to like have my own copy that I can have in my house, and I can just stare at it whenever I want. Last night, since I was trying to like recover from reading this, I made an aesthetic reel to share on Instagram and TikTok, and I had so much fun looking for pictures that matched the aesthetic of this book. It's just like so cottagecore and whimsical, lots of like dreamlike imagery in my opinion. And it's actually really funny because the song that I chose to go with the reel was a harp cover of Invisible String, which I've used it on quite a few aesthetic reels just because I feel like it's like fits so perfectly for so many of the books that I've read. But I thought it was kind of a funny coincidence and really cool that right after I had found this in Barnes & Noble, they started playing Invisible String over the speakers. I was like, it's a sign. I was already gonna buy this book, but it's even more of a sign. Last night, in addition to the aesthetic reel, I also made a little like mood board that I could post with the picture that I just took, as well as a little image with the synopsis of the book so people can easily see what the book is about. So I need to sit down and edit the picture that I just took. I'll pop up a picture on the screen though of how it turned out. I'm just so excited for more people to pick this up. I hope that I've convinced you with this video to pick it up. I thought I would mention here, because I looked it up for a friend, that there is a slight trigger warning for miscarriage in this book, and I looked up the chapter for them, so I thought I would also share it here. If you want to completely avoid that kind of content, I would skip chapter 6, which I think is track 11 in the audiobook. And if you like really want to like extra stay away from it, I would also maybe not read the very end of chapter 5. It's not like 100% like on page or anything, but it's heavily alluded to and talked about. So if you want to stay away from that kind of imagery, that's what I would recommend. I think that's gonna be it for this video though. I'm so glad that I filmed a vlog for this since I ended up loving the book so much. I'm gonna be able to like look back on this and see what my thoughts were like while I was reading it for the first time. If you made it to the end of the video, you should leave a honey or bee emoji in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Appalachian sunrise.